So she tried to get me to join Groupon. Ow, that's hot. And I told her to go and group off with herself. But I think some of us are more individual than others. Group off. Some of the things I've never done in Thailand, some of the things I wish I'd never done. And one of the things I wish I'd never done is come here. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Community. I hate community. Anyway, the things I've never done. I've never been part of a group. Ever. I'm so glad I got out of there. The noise, the absolute bedlam of that place. Oh, gee. The peace and quiet. So yeah, lads, this video is about the things that I cannot do, the things I have never done, the things I have never been part of. And it's all to do with groups. And you know, Thai culture is group orientated. It's community orientated. And it's one of the things that I find so hard to adjust to. Anyway, here's some of the things that I've never done, and I never want to do, and I never will do, and I never plan on doing, whether in Thailand or anywhere else. But there's a couple of things that I have done, just like this. Wait a minute, this is something I have done before. Hello? Hello? There's nobody there. This is the exact phone I used to have when I was a kid back home with my parents. I did use one of these before. So, what have I never had? I've never had a credit card. In all of my life, I have never had a credit card. I still don't have one. And I'm 61. There was one time in my life when I went to the United States and I couldn't get by without a credit card. And if I've never had a credit card, how did I survive in the United States without a credit card? Because the person I was with had a credit card. I remember going up, I think it was the 106th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center in the year 2001. In March of 2001, 6 months, on the 17th of March 2001, or was it the 18th? It was the 17th or the 18th. Almost 6 months to the day when they were so tragically destroyed. I was up there and I had an argument with the person I was with. And they stormed off. They got in the elevator. And if anyone is old enough to remember, if anyone has ever been up the World Trade Centers, the elevators were huge. And I remember there was a line or a queue to get into the elevator. You had to wait. But the person I was with got in and went down, and I was stranded. They had my passport in their bag. I remember that, and I said, what the hell? And I hadn't got a credit card. I had cash. And yeah, we had ATMs then, but it wasn't a runner using an Irish ATM and a US machine. Well, maybe it was, but I remember I had no cash on me. And the feeling of being stranded. So yeah, there are times where in my life where I have felt absolutely powerless without a credit card, but I can count them on one finger of one hand once in the United States. Ever since then, and before then, I was never stranded without a credit card, and I'm still not stranded. I can do every single thing I want to do with my debit card. Credit cards are the biggest scam ever. I remember many moons ago, I used to go out with this girl in Dublin and we got on fairly well together. But she tried to get me to join Groupon. Group. That word is as alien to me or as irritating to me as someone dragging their nails across a blackboard. Group, oh. I've never been part of a group. I've never been a member of a football team. I've never been a member of any kind of team. I am not a team member. There's no I in team, people say, but there is a me. So she tried to get me to join Groupon. Ow, that's hot. And I told her to go and group off with herself. The whole idea of being a member of a group, I mean, what, you know, maybe it's the the way I was brought up. I was brought up in a very old house that was remote. Well, it wasn't remote, it was in Dublin, but all my friends lived in housing estates. All the houses were the same. And I grew up in a terrace, an old, very old Georgian terrace. And I was always on the periphery of the group. And that's the way I grew up. And that's the way I am now, thank God. I am not part of a group. And that's why at the start of this video, when I was up there at the day out of the townspeople, it just went against my grain, or against their grain. I am not a team player. I am not part of a group. I never was, and I never will be. It just is totally alien to me. I mean, now I'm not saying nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being the supporter of a football team. But when that forms part of your identity, there's something wrong. We're all individuals. But I think some of us are more individual than others. Group off. One of the things I have never done, and if you're, by the way, before I reveal another one of the things that I've never done, the reason I'm using my Tascam DR-50X digital recorder is because the radio mics really don't cut the mustard when you're standing beside traffic. And a lot of people criticize me for doing just that. But you see, I like to bring, some things I do do, or do be doing, is standing beside traffic, talking to the camera. And standing beside traffic, talking to the camera without the aid of this would be, let's say, would detract from your enjoyment of the video because the audio wouldn't come up to scratch. But besides all that, not disregarding all that, one of the things I have yet to do and have not yet done in my time in Thailand is to learn the Thai language or make any effort to learn the Thai language. I don't want to. Simple. I don't want to be a wannabe. That's the truth. I'm not saying that if you learn to speak Thai, you're a wannabe, but I've seen so many Farang raising their voices when they speak Thai in front of other Farang just to show off how much Thai they have and how better they are compared to you. I've never been a YouTube vlogger in the sense that I've never walked around Pattaya with a GoPro or an Insta360 or whatever it is on a tripod going, oh, look at this, soy 6, soy cacao, soy blah, blah. Who gives a damn? If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I've never done it, and I never intend to do it. I get a lot of criticism from my videos. But as far as I can see, I'm unique. I don't see other YouTubers in Thailand doing what I do. Because I do exactly what I want to do. Because I don't conform. I'm not part of a group, and I don't want to be. Guys, at this stage, I just want to thank everybody who has bought me a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee. I really appreciate each and every one of you. There you are there. Thank you so much for your generosity. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you'd like to do that, you can scan the QR or click the link below, and I'd be very, very grateful. And thank you all very, very much. You might notice that in this video we have alternated between this microphone and this microphone. You see, I use this microphone in quiet environments, I've learned. And I'm using this microphone in noisy environments, i.e. next to the roadside, because I've listened to your feedback. That's one of the things I do. I listen to your feedback. So, for noisy roadside environments, it's going to be this, the Tascam DR-05X, and for quiet, relaxed environments, it's going to be the DJI Mic Mini 2. There you go. So we find ourselves in an unnoisy environment, so therefore I'm using the radio mic this time. there's a lot of things you can accuse me of. There's a lot of things that we do in this channel, and there's a lot of things we don't do. And one of the things we don't do is food reviews. Food reviews. We might eat food, but we don't review food because my taste buds aren't that refined. Do you know I can't tell the difference between pork and chicken? Well, I can if it's standalone on a skewer. If I have a skewer of pork and a skewer of chicken and you blindfold me, I'll be able to tell the difference more or less. But if it's in a dish, I have absolutely no idea. So I've absolutely no idea what I'm going to eat now. But I hope you'll enjoy watching me. There's a hint of voyeurism in that, I think. I just read the sign. It's noodles with spicy pork soup. That's what it is. Well, that's what it says it is. But I wouldn't know, to be honest with you, I wouldn't know the difference. And I don't, you know something, and I don't even care. One of the reasons I came here today, this is Big C and Rashida, is because every other place I went to was playing music. Fellas have been asking me to do reviews of KFC and things like that, and I really wanted to do it. I wanted to do a review of a really sloppy Parmesan double quarter pounder, Parmesan with cheese, whatever way they call it, with that sloppy Parmesan sauce. I wanted to do that, but I went into McDonald's and they were playing music. Then I went into a cafe near where I live and there was 4 people there whom I knew, and they kind of beckoned me to join them, but I couldn't join them because they're playing bloody music. But they're not playing music here, and I don't have to use my Tascam mic. Yeah, and I don't have to use my Tascam mic because it's quiet here. When I do the food stuff, usually on my channel, I've learned this. If I sit in a roadside cafe, and let's say the entrance is behind me and I'm sitting way back, the noise of the traffic funnels straight through the restaurant and it distorts the audio. So I hope the audio hasn't been distorted for you today. This is noodle soup. Is it noodle soup or pork soup with noodles? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. And I've added lots of garlic into it. So you see, in all my life, I've had trouble with I wouldn't say I've had trouble with my taste buds. I just haven't been able to distinguish between tastes. One of the things I could never do, and I suppose you could never do either, was to distinguish between Coke and Pepsi. I mean, how many of you can do that? If you can do that, you must have super duper taste buds. That could be either. I know what it is. It's Coke, but it could be either. Oops, daisy. $85 baht. That's another thing about going to McDonald's. If you go to McDonald's, it's going to cost you a lot more than 85 baht. And you know something? Sometimes it could cost you a lot more than 85 baht if you go on a date with a Thai girl. A lot more. But it won't cost you that much to click on Thai Date VIP. On Thai Date VIP, Thai Date VIP is not just a dating site. It's a dating site run by a French guy who lives in a Hoi Hin, who's a friend of mine. And many, many guys who've watched my videos have met their future wives and girlfriends on Thai Date VIP. So lads, what are you waiting for? Don't just click on it. Don't just scan it. Register with Thai Date VIP and see how you get along. Maybe you'll be sitting in this place buying a meal for 85 baht for you and for her. Cheapy Charlie. Well, that's me. And it could be the start of something beautiful. I have never been, this is another thing, talk about food. I've never eaten fish and chips in my life. I remember I made a fish and chips video. Well, I have done on a video for this channel. But prior to that, I'd never eaten fish and chips in my life. On that video, I said I'd never eaten fish and chips. Or I made a comment on a video where I said I'd never ever eaten fish and chips. And I've never eaten fish and chips in my life because I don't eat fish. And how could I grow up in Dublin without eating fish and chips? Quite easily. You go to the chipper The British call it the chippy. In Ireland we call it the chipper. You go to the chipper after the pub and you have chips and a spice burger or a cheeseburger or garlic cheese and chips. God, if there's anything I miss about Ireland, it's garlic cheese and chips. But I've never had fish and chips in my life. That's another thing I've never done. I've never been to a football match. Ever. When I say ever. When I was at school, we were forced to go and support our local school, not in soccer, not in rugby, in Gaelic football. We were forced to go to support our local, at my school, Art School Reach. That's translated to English as Rice's High School. We qualified for the Leinster All-Ireland Senior Football Final. I remember one year, the whole school were made go to Croke Park to watch them. Croke Park is the third largest football stadium in Europe, and we're all made go. But apart from that, I have never been to a football match, rugby, Gaelic or soccer, ever in my life. No interest, absolutely no interest. I watch the World Cup, or I watch the Euros. I suppose a lot of people like me. No real interest in football, but for the big tournaments they'll watch it. What I'm going on about in this video is no big deal. I've met people who've never drank in their lives at all. I'm probably talking to people, and it's probably people watching this video that have never drank, when say drank alcohol in their lives. I can't imagine a life without having tried alcohol, because alcohol is such a big part of society, not just Irish society, but society in general. It's a big part of Thai culture, well, say society or society stroke culture. In Thai culture, in modern Thai culture, alcohol is a huge thing. I'm sure I don't stand alone. I'm sure there's other people watching this video that have never been to a football match, who can't distinguish the taste between pork and chicken when it's in a dish, who doesn't like cats, for example. I absolutely hate cats. Just the thing. Never had a cat, never will. Plenty of dogs. This is tasty, but it's very how do I say? This is tasty, but it's pretty messy. Speaking of messy, my condolences to Argentina. Viva la España. That really hit the spot, or it is hitting the spot. I was speaking about trying to avoid music in my videos because they get done for copyright. I've never bought music in my life, ever. I listen to it, I enjoy it, but I've never bought a CD, I never bought a record. I did buy a couple of cassettes, but they were blank cassettes, and I'd record music off the radio when I was a kid on your cassette thing. But I've never bought music in my life, and I don't see the need for it. Actually, I tell a lie. The music that you hear in my videos, I don't buy, but I bought, well, I didn't. Did I buy or do I pay for it? I am paying for the license on upbeat.com. That's where all the music comes from. So I suppose when I say I've never bought music, I'm talking about I've never bought music in the form of a CD or a record or a cassette that I could actually sit down and listen to. I could never see the point. I could never see the point in that. Can you find yourself agreeing with me and any of the likes or dislikes that I've pointed out in this video? I'm going to finish this. Back to you in a minute. That was absolutely wonderful. Now I'm going to reclaim my the money I didn't spend, because here they don't accept cash. It's all on a card. And I said I never vlog. Well, this isn't really vlogging. It's not a GoPro. It's a Canon M50 Mark II. And who vlogs with a Canon M50 Mark II? Only me. I'm going the wrong way. God damn. So you get this card, this is your card that you buy. So I bought 150 worth of credit, 150 baht worth of credit. And now I can redeem whatever is left. And then I can tell you how much I spent. Thank you. Thank you. I spent 115 baht. There you go. For my brunch. Wow. So, I have a feeling I've forgotten something. Do you ever get like that? Anyway, we're going to go home. I'm going to go home and regroup. And if I can think of something else that I don't do or have never done, I'd include that before the end of the video. Don't go away. There might be more to come. Yes, I've changed my cap or my hat. Well, it's a cap. Because it's later in the afternoon and I'm in the shade, so I don't need the wide brim here because I'm not in direct sunlight. But I've had time to think that this video hasn't been a negative video, although I've been talking about things that I don't do and don't like, but it's been sprinkled with a healthy helping of things that I do and do like. And a few of the things that I have done, you may be surprised, is I've been a passenger in a helicopter, a passenger in a submarine. I've been obviously a passenger on a ship, on a boat, on a bike, on a trike, never on a tandem, never on a spaceship, never on a spaceship, car, camper van, bus, you name it, train, all of those things I have done, as many of you have done too. But I can tell you, of all the things that I haven't done and absolutely never ever want to do, those things have been highlighted in this video already, but just to say the top of the list would be, I don't ever want to learn Thai. I would consider it, for me, a waste of time. That's for me, a waste of time. I would never want to go to a football match. That would be a complete waste of time. And I would never want to live the rest of my life without having the opportunity to have a drink of beer or some other alcoholic beverage. I'm at the stage now where I'm over 2 weeks without a drink, without an alcoholic drink. I've got 3/4 of a bottle of gin in the fridge, and I've got a 1.5 litre can of German beer, ice cold. And I have no inkling I have no desire to break my fast, as it were, when it comes to alcohol at the moment. But I'm not saying it's going to happen today or it's going to happen tomorrow, but it will happen, because I can't see me living the rest of my life without having a drop of alcohol. And I can't see myself living the rest of my life without having you there. And I really mean it, lads. All joking aside, you guys are the reason I'm here, and you guys are the reason why I do what I do. And I thank each and every one of you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being there. If you haven't subscribed already, now would be a good time to do so. Click the like button, the share button, and all those wonderful things. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a varied video, and I hope you found something in it that was of interest to you. If not, join me again, and in the next video you probably will find something of interest to you.